Hello again, it's Tom here and welcome back to Magic Woodworking. So today I'm checking out the new 36 volt Mitre saw from Evolution, and we're going to see if it's still a DIY brand or if they've actually made their way into the professional market. Now the way I'm going to check that out is I'm going to compare it to my old favourite Makita 36 volt Mitre saw, which I've had for a year or two now, so I know just how good this machine is. And I'm going to see if they can actually get in the ring with the big boys and hold their own. If that's something you'd like to see, stay right there. Let's check this out. Okay then, so let's take a look at this Evolution Mitre saw. The first thing I noticed about this is it's very well constructed. Nearly all the parts are made from cast aluminium, or aluminum as you might say in the States, apart from the items you can see in orange, which are hard plastic but very hard wearing. For the actual saw itself, it's got a brushless motor. It runs off two 5 amp hour batteries. It's got a no load speed of 3000 RPM, and the cutting capacity is 90 millimeters that way and 305 millimeters that way. Next, I found it to be very light. If you buy it with the bench, you have these quick release levers, you can lift it off very easily, put it back in place. As you can see, it snaps right back in place, do the levers back up, and that's nice and light. It's one of the lightest saws I've picked up like that. It comes with a 3-year guarantee, and it costs £449.99p. That's without the batteries, without the charger, and obviously without the bench. This is one of the sticking points on this particular machine. They've done a good job on it, but I'm finding it to be slightly high priced. If you want it with the 2 batteries and the fast charger, you've got a price then of £650. And if you would like the bench, you can add another £150 to your price. Now for the DIY market, that's getting steep. For the professional market, that's getting steep. So next, let's take a look at how easy it is to move this saw for day-to-day functions. Hey guys, just quickly, if you're enjoying this video and you'd like to support me, please give me a thumbs up, or better yet, subscribe down there. It really helps the channel and allows me to carry on making videos like this for you guys to find on YouTube. Right, enough about me, back to the video. Okay then, let's go through some of the features of this Mitre saw. Firstly, to adjust the angle at the front, undo the locking knob, press the button, and it allows the head to spin round nice and freely up to 50 degrees in both directions. Next, if you would like to spin it without pressing that button, there's 2 locking lugs there. Spin them around, it presses the button for you and allows you to freely move it again without having to hold that button down. Nice little feature. Right, next, to adjust the fences, there's locking tabs there which allow you to slide them in or out, or even take them all fully out. It's the same on both sides. The angle adjustment on the head is you undo that handle at the back, spin the wheel around there, which allows you to rotate it over to the left or to the right up to 45 degrees, and then spin it back and it will bring it back to the 0 position. You might want to calibrate it out of the box. They're not all exactly perfect, but they're not far away. Next, if you wanted to cut a joint, there's a little tab here which, when you lower it over, allows you to stop the blade at whatever height you would like to cut a housing joint or whatever, and you adjust the height by turning that locking lug there. If while you're cutting your joint you think, oh no, I still want to cut some more timber, not a problem. You lift that lever up, you can leave it set, and you can cut all the way down to the bottom without having to adjust your joint or lose your setting, which is a nice little feature again. As for changing the blade, there's a locking button there which will lock the blade in position. There's an Allen key wrench there which allows you to change up the blade. The blade is 255mm, I say, and you can easily change that out, no issues at all. As with cutting, you've got a 90mm depth of cut that way and a 305mm width of cut that way. As for transporting, to lock it off so it doesn't go backwards and forwards, turn that locking lug, and there's a little button you're going to depress here. You push it in and it holds the saw down ready for transport. So the only thing it leaves now is for me to demonstrate it running. The first thing I'll say, this is 3000 RPM no load speed, which isn't particularly fast, but it is very quiet, which I will demonstrate in just a moment. You've got one button to pull in and one button to push across to start it up. So let's do that now. And as you can see, it's very quiet. Only thing is, it doesn't feel like it's got a lot of power. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I'm not overly sure on that at the moment. Let's do some more tests and maybe I'll be proved wrong. Okay, let me take you through some of the features of the Makita. Firstly, much like the Evolution, you have to undo the locking handle at the front, press the button, and she spins round very easily in both directions to whatever degree you want. The only difference between this and the Evolution only goes up to 50 degrees in both directions. The Makita will go up to 60, so an extra 10 degrees makes quite a bit of difference. Equally, much like the Evolution, to press that button, it holds down the button for you, so you can spin it, you don't have to keep it held down with your thumb, which makes life a lot easier. Next, to adjust the head, very similar to the Evolution, some slight changes. The first one being you need to remove the fences. Now the reason for removing the fences, if you don't, these bars will hit on the fence when you try and cut your angle. So remove the fences, unlock it there, and it allows it to spin over to the left up to 45 degrees. If you want to go to the right, you need to press that button in and it goes all the way over to the right as well. Lock it back off with the handle, nice and easy. Now if I was pressed, I've got to be honest, I actually do prefer the way the Makita is set up in that respect. It's nothing bad towards the Evolution, I just like the way that's set. The Evolution works perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm a Makita fanboy, I'll be the first to say it. Next, if you'd like to cut a joint, just like the Evolution, instead of putting the tab down, you flick this tab across. And as you can see, you can cut your joint. There's a little tab there to spin round to adjust the height up and down. And just like the Evolution, if you want to cut another piece of wood without adjusting your joint, flick it across, all the way down, do your cuts, and then you can go back to cutting your joint once again. So, nice little feature, much like the Evolution. For changing the blade out, there is a button here, which I can't show you on camera, which locks the blade in position, and then use an Allen key wrench once again to undo it and take the blade out. The only difference here between the Evolution and the Makita, that's a 260mm blade, and the Evolution is 255. Makes pretty much zero difference, but I'm just pointing it out. For transport, to stop the blade movers forward, forwards and back, turn that tab there, and as you can see, locks it in position. To stop it going up and down, there's a tab over here, spin it around, and again, locks the head in position. So, the only thing that leaves then is for me to do the speed test. Now, the no load speed on the Makita is 4,300 RPM, which is a full 1,300 RPM more than the Evolution. The only thing it does do is it makes it a lot louder. Now, to start this machine, much like the Evolution, there's a button you have to press here and a button you have to press there simultaneously. So let's start her up. And as I said, it is a lot louder. It also stops a lot quicker too. I don't think it makes a great deal of difference, but you know, I'm picking out the differences here. Now, price wise is again the biggest difference. This machine bare is £650. If you'd like it with the two 5 amp hour batteries and the fast charger, it's £750. The Evolution is £450 bare without the batteries, or £650 with the batteries and the fast charger. So we're only talking £100 now. And in my mind, if it's just down to £100, I'm going to go with the name brand, i.e. the Makita. At the end of the day, Evolution are trying to throw themselves in with the big boys here, and they're charging big boy prices, but their name is not as well known yet. Me personally, if I was pressed with that sort of money, I'm going to be buying the Makita, and the DeWalt is very similar priced as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll change when we do the testing. So let's do that now. Let's test the two machines side by side and see if they stack up. Okay, so now I'm going to do some cut testing. Before I do, I'd like to give a shout out to Evolution for their 18 volt dust extractor there. They're very, very good. I have two already. They're £110. I could highly recommend them. I've already done a video on one once before. So with this now, I'm going to do multiple cuts through 4x2 tannalized timber to simulate the kind of work this thing would have to do on site. After all, if they're trying to reach the professional market, this is the kind of thing it's going to have to do. Right, so I've done 3, 6, I've done 9 cuts there. There is quite a bit of splintering, but this is their universal blade. I will try it with a proper wood cutting blade, which I'd imagine would be less splintering. But yeah, there is somewhat there, but it did keep up with what I threw at it. One more test quickly. I've got a chunk here from a job I did once before. Piece of softwood. They say this thing can cut through 90mm. This is actually 95mm. Let's just do one cut straight through this to see if it can manage it. And there you go. Straight through, effectively what is a 4-inch piece of timber. No problem whatsoever. Granted, it's softwood, but it didn't miss a beat. There is quite a bit of sawdust build up, but you tend to have more than that on the Makita, so I can't hold that against it. But there you have it. That is able to keep up with the kind of work you would do on site. Let's do the Makita test now and see if it's better or worse. Okay then. Let's do the same test that I've just done to the Evolution with the Makita and see how she fares. Right. A little splintering, but this blade has gone a little bit blunter, but nowhere near as much. I've done 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 cuts this time. And I don't know if you could tell, but that was quicker and definitely had more power. There is a considerable difference between these two. Finally, let's do that 4-inch cut again. Again, shot straight through it. Again, this one only cuts up to 92mm, so just a little bit at the end because it's 95. But cut straight through it. Again, a little bit of splintering. I was complaining about the dust extraction, but the Makita's actually done better than I thought for it. It used to be not good, but obviously the evolution is even worse. So, on that bombshell, it looks like the Makita is faster, more powerful, and less messy. Yeah. Okay then, so after testing the pair of them against each other, what do I think? Well, I think to be fair to Evolution, they built a good saw. It's well built, it's robust, it's easy to use, it was able to keep up with everything I threw at it. Yeah, it's a good saw. Is it better than Makita? Hell no. No, the Makita is 25 to 30% better. Am I saying it's a bad saw? No. The problem being, I think Evolution has priced this slightly too high. They are competing with people like Makita and DeWalt. They are more well known within the industry, especially the professional side. And the problem is, people, fanboys like myself, are going to pick these over this. If you want to get into the professional side, I would have priced this about £100 cheaper than where it's at. Because currently, when they're fully tricked out, there's only £100 of difference. And I think that's the problem. It's not a bad saw, I just think it's slightly higher priced than it should be. And other than that, I can't really find many other faults with it. Oh, other than maybe it's slightly underpowered compared to the DeWalt or the Makita. But it's only a minorly, you know, it still keeps up the work. I just prefer it if the motor had a slight bit more torque, more power. I will give a call out to their bench. This thing is awesome. This Mitre saw spanned, it's universal, it will take the Makita, it will take DeWalt. It will take 600 pounds of weight. You can have 3 people sat on this, no problem at all. Take it all day long. It's a beast, so I can really wholeheartedly recommend that. I can wholeheartedly recommend the dust extractor as well I've used. And I can recommend the Evolution Mitre saw. It's just I feel it's slightly overpriced for what it is. And you know me, I'm going to be honest every time. So, would I buy this over the Makita? No, it'd be the Makita every time, I'm afraid. But it's still a good buy. Anyway, on that bombshell, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.